I'm Sarah Cottrell, and we're in Ashland, Oregon, and I'm enjoying a conversation with psychotherapists Jan Harrell and Al Robbins, who have just written a wonderful book. The book is Personal Strength, Spiritual Joy, Bridging Heaven and Earth. We've talked about some of the concepts about underlying in the book, specifically that we have choices, and that there are also many things that we do not have choices. You have a concept of all of us together on a journey. You talked about us being on a river and a lot of the ramifications in that. Both of you in the book share a lot of personal stories of pain. I have read a number of self-help books, and the impression that I get is very different. I get the impression I'm the one that's struggling, and the author's the one that's got it figured out. Your book is very different. Why?
Simple answer for me. I read the same books. I've read the same books, and I think a lot of people have a lot of brilliant, wonderful ideas, but it always makes me feel very lonely to read those books because I think I must be the only one that's having a hard time, because certainly it isn't the author. The author seems to have it all together, and I don't have it all together. I have some ideas about myself, and I have some ideas about how to do my life, but I really wanted to write a book and be a part of writing a book with Jan that was really focused in a very personal way about the things that are hard for me, because I'm struggling the same way everyone else is struggling. So it was important to me to write a book sharing the things that I messed up and felt vulnerable about, and because I think people need to feel like we're all on this, on the river together, and we're all humans, and we're all doing the best we can, and so that was a very important part of the writing of the book for me, is have it being very, very personal.
How about for you, Jan?
For me, I think I always fell prey to the illusion that perfection is possible, and so I always felt badly about myself. I always felt inferior, and as a matter of fact, I waited quite a while to go to graduate school because I thought, how could you help someone else learn and grow and heal if you're not all together yourself? And I waited and I waited. It wasn't happening, and I realized my whole life would go by without my ever getting to become a psychologist if I didn't just jump in. And I realized that what I was trying to do was to avoid being vulnerable. I didn't want anyone to judge me or criticize me. So I feel very passionately about our sharing our journey with our readers, just as I do about our sharing our journey with our clients. Because to me, it's the height of cruelty to perpetuate or to be any part of the myth that it's possible for a human being to attain perfection. That's going, if I were to present myself as not struggling, then I would be telling the person just what you were saying, Al, that something's wrong with you, you're messed up, and I am so fine, good thing you're here to see me and pay me. So instead, the most important thing that we do in our practices, and that we tried to do in the book, is demystify what I call the false expert. Someone who's presenting themselves as they have it together, they have all the answers, they never struggle, and it's just a simple matter of logic for you to become just as enlightened as they are. And that's just not what it means to be a human being. We all are learning like children learn, and we're growing, hopefully, learning and conquering our ignorance as we go, but we'll never get there. We'll never get to perfection.
Well, and for me, it was never a question of perfection, because there was no way I was perfect. However, it was for me very much about feeling very alone in the world. I grew up, that's what my pain was about, feeling alone and not having people to share, what was going on in my life with me. So, it is very important for me to write in the book, or to sit with someone in my office and provide them with company for what they're experiencing. And the company is, I've been there, I know exactly what you're feeling, and letting myself feel vulnerable with them. That's really important to me.
A really funny experience that I find all the time is people like me, and they respect the information that I have to give them and the help that I give them, but they love me when I tell them how I'm struggling. I mean, they just sigh and their faces light up, and I get big hugs. Like, they love the fact that they could feel so positively toward me. And I'm down there where I'm struggling, just like they're down there, rolling in the mud, struggling to surface. And it's this feeling of companionship. It's us. We're together on this journey. Nobody has arrived. None of us are a walking Buddha or Confucius or Christ. We are all on the way on this journey.
I had an experience in the office which about not feeling alone that was, I don't think I talked about it in the book, but it was unbelievable for me. I had someone come in, I cannot remember the woman's name. She sat down in front of me and cried for 45 minutes. I sat with her, I cried with her. She got up, I said, "Do you want to make another appointment?" She said, "No, I feel much better." And that was it. I never saw the woman again, ever. And, you know, this was probably the most exciting session I ever had. And it was exciting because nothing needed to be said. She was in pain. She wanted company. I was absolutely willing to sit with her and feel her pain and my pain. And we were done. And that's so important to me. That was a major part of why I wanted to write a book, is to show people that we're all in the same thing together.
What we're trying to do in the book is help people accept the very unusual in our culture concept that we are each our own expert. Once I said something particularly brilliant, I must admit it, to a client of mine, and he sat there dumbstruck, speechless, you know, in front of my wisdom. And when he finally did regain his sense of his ability to speak, he said, "I knew that. I just didn't know that I knew it until you said it." And I thought, yes, this is so perfect, to awaken our ability to know the truth for ourselves. That's what we're trying to do in our lives for ourselves, and that's what we're trying to do in our work and in our book.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much for joining us. If you'd like to see more about our book and more about our work, please go to our website, innerpeacepress.com, and you'll be able to learn more there.